Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're joining me today. I'm so excited for today's video. We're going to be going over my 25 in 2025. So basically, just my most anticipated reads for 2025. What I want to get to, a lot of it is author backlists, authors that I discovered in 2024 that I just loved and I want to read more of. There's also some new releases on here. I honestly have a few that have just been announced to the public they're going to be released and they're not on here. I'll probably be making another video about my like most anticipated releases of 2025. So that may be in a different video. I have my cart next to me and we are just going to go through all 25 books that are on my top priority. Okay, my mic died. I was talking about 25 and 25. Not exactly sure where I left off, but I hope y'all had a great year. I am looking forward to building this community with y'all. I really want to talk to y'all, be friends with y'all. I want us to be able to talk about books and have a lot of fun. And this video is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to be talking about my 25 and 25. And we're just going to hop right into it because I legitimately don't know where we left off. If you saw the light on my mic go off, no, you didn't. No, you did not. And I definitely didn't keep talking. No. Okay, let's just get started. I'm going to show you the spread in my reading journal because I think I got cut off before I got to show y'all that. I compiled a bunch of stuff off of Pinterest. I just got a lot of inspiration. I used to be an art major, so I'm very, I love to draw, I love to paint, I love to do all that stuff. So I hand drew my entire reading journal this year and the end of last year, and I've been enjoying it. I think it's so fun. It's exactly like what I want it to be, and I love it. So if y'all want to use my spreads, feel free. I don't care. But yeah, this is my 25 and 25 spread. It's just little stacks of books, and I just wrote the titles on them. And like this one right here, I've already finished it. So it's highlighted, and it just corresponds with the color of the cover. So eventually, all of these will be colored in, and it's going to look really, really pretty, and I'm so excited. But yeah, let's just hop right in. I'm really excited to talk about all of the books that are top priority for me this year. First off, I want to start with this one. These are all like on my cart behind the camera. Society of Lies. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this book. It was one that I asked for Christmas. I got it. It's beautiful. Like, are you kidding? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is dark academia, secret society, friend group drama, school reunion gone wrong, throw in a murder mystery. I believe it follows the main character's name is Maya, and it follows her sister who has now passed away, and she thinks it's suspicious. She's gonna go figure it out, but she's kind of got to go back in her history, and it sounds like it's academic. It's very secret society, and it's called Society of Lies. One of my favorite authors of all time, Julia Bartz, she blurbed it on the back. So, I mean, I have to read it now, you know? So it's definitely high up on my list. You'll probably see me talk about it in the next couple of months. I'm just really, really excited about it. If you love dark academia, I've heard really, really great things about it. And the synopsis just sounds so good. So you should read it if that's something you're into. Also, if you've watched my favorite books of 2024, I love dark academia. I read The Pact by Sharon Bolton last year, and it opened my eyes to dark academia, and now I will auto buy anything dark academia. Before you ask me, I have not read If We Were Villains. I need to. So maybe this year somebody can convince me to read it. I've heard that's like the upper echelon of dark academia, so don't ask me why I haven't read it. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Next on my 25 and 25, I'm probably going to be reading with my husband. We sometimes buddy read books. Last year, we buddy read Don't Believe It by Charlie Donlea. It's up here. That's why I was looking up there. He is mainly a sci-fi reader. My husband is, but this is one that I've definitely convinced him to read. and I think we're going to read it in February together, and that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Another one, like, why haven't I read this yet? Everyone's read it. I feel like I'm the last person to read it. It's now a screen adaptation. It's become, I believe, a TV show on Apple TV, maybe. But yeah, we really want to read the TV show, but I told him I have to read the book first. So I got him the whole trilogy for his birthday. I only have this one right now, but we're definitely gonna hop into this. So I'll definitely either be filming a buddy read video with him. I'll let him give a review for y'all. So that one is definitely gonna be read with him. This one is it's just a sci-fi. It's a sci-fi thriller. It was also blurbed by one of my favorite authors, Harlan Coben. You'll hear me talk about him a lot. Um, and it's just, I honestly don't know what it's about. I don't read synopses of thrillers and sci-fi very often because I want to be as thrown off as I possibly can be. I want to know nothing. So if you like sci-fi, I've heard it's very like dystopian. Very, very, very excited. Okay, next. This one's a little weird for me. I don't typically read this next genre, but I just heard really great things. I have a friend on Goodreads who read it, and she wrote a really good review on it. And we have very similar tastes, or from what I know, we have very similar tastes. So once she read it, it was already on my TBR, and she read it and loved it. And I was like, all right, it's going on my 25 and 25. And that is Husband and Lovers by Beatrice Williams. This is historical fiction. I don't read historical fiction. I never have read historical fiction. It just does not seem to be something that I think I would really enjoy. I've been recommended Kristen Hanna. I'm just so intimidated by the size of her books, knowing that it's probably not going to be the most interesting thing for me to read. But hey, y'all can try and convince me. If y'all can convince me to read a Kristen Hanna book, feel free. I would love to be convinced. But I'm definitely going to get to this one. This one, let me just read you the synopsis. So we're basically just following two women, and it sounds like it's going to be very strongly based on their relationships and life experience. And I love reading about stories like that. One of my favorite reads from 2024 was Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman. And it followed two ex best friends who their paths crossed again in a very dark way. And they were brought together by darkness to begin with. And she just wrote those stories so beautifully, and she really intertwined them so beautifully. And I think that's what we're going to get from this book. So if you like historical fiction, if you like just stories about female power, female life experience, I'm assuming some female rage, I think this will be a good one. I'm excited. I'm not a historical fiction reader. If you're not, read it with me. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. Let's try it. I've told myself I'm going to be DNFing more this year because I have too many books I want to read books I don't like. So who knows what's going to happen with this one, but I have high hopes. I have high hopes, and I am excited. And maybe this will be one of my new favorite authors. Who knows, you know? I did not think I was going to like Ella Berman, and I loved Ella Berman, and I'm going to be reading this book right here by her, The Comeback. So you never know. You never know. The next one is a nonfiction. It is a memoir, and I'm really going to try and read more memoirs this year. Like I said, I love being told people's stories. I love listening to people's life experiences, their life stories, what they've encountered. I think that us relating to other people is essential to our experience and our perspective on life. And so I just really love listening to what other people have been through and how they've changed their life, changed their perspective, and how their experience have, because we just aren't going to get to experience everything in this life. So that next book I picked up was Mad Wife by Kate Hamilton. This is a memoir about marriage and religion and the expectations on women in marriage, and I believe a little bit of childbearing and being a mother, but primarily just how we're expected to treat a man, or what we are expected to give a man and provide for a man and provide for a house. I don't have kids. I am married, and I just think it'll be good to read from someone's perspective about what she went through with, it sounds like a very narcissistic, allegedly narcissistic, you know, not a good guy, and what she learned and how she moved forward from that. So I'm really excited about this one. It's very short. It's under 300 pages, I believe. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read her perspective. I've never heard of this story before. I just saw it on Amazon one day and was like, that sounds like something that I would like. So I'll let y'all know what I think because I'm excited for that one. A little known fact about me, I used to be extremely religious when I was younger, and now I am not. And so I like reading books that challenge my perspective on things. I think that's going to be a really, really good one. So I'm excited to read that one. The next one on my list, this one is considered fiction. I believe it's psychological thriller. Um, it's The Push by Ashley Audrain. I also want to read her other book, The Whispers, but I think this one is more like something I'm going to be interested in. It's also one that I've heard nothing but good things about, like literally nothing. I've never heard a single bad thing about this other than it ruins motherhood for you and your desire for motherhood. So if you can't understand the way I say ruin, that is Ruin. I'm originally from North Carolina. Everyone makes fun of how I say it. I am so sorry. I'll put the word right here, and so it will make sense. But ruin. Um, it will ruin motherhood for you. We're gonna see. I already don't really want to have children, so we're gonna see what this looks like. I'm super excited to read. I've heard it's very uncomfortable, makes your skin crawl, and I like creepy kid thrillers. I love them. I read a lot of them last year, so I'm really excited for this one. I've heard nothing but great things. It won the Good Morning America book club, or was part of the book club for one of their months, so I was really excited. And Lisa Jewell blurbed it on the back, and I loved her. None of this is true, so we're gonna see. I really, really am excited for that one. Once again, I love things that challenge my perspective on life, and I think that that one's gonna be one of them. And it may scare me, but that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, the next book I'm going to pick up is King of Greed by Anna Huang. I've read her Twisted series. It was good. She's been one of my favorite authors since that series. I haven't loved the first two books in Kings of Sin. They haven't been my favorite couples. I enjoy her writing style a lot, and I find them like super digestible and easy to read. I just didn't like connect with the characters as much, like Dante and Vivian. I didn't like the marriage of convenience aspect in that book as much. But I like her writing. I think these books are a little long for what they should be, but I'm excited for this one. I'm excited to keep going in the series. I want to read all her books just because I like her, and I want to support her. And yeah, I just want to see what it's about. I haven't really read the back. I don't know who this like follows. I know normally they're interconnected, so it'll be somebody that she's in passing talked to us about, or is a friend of somebody that she's talked about. So I'll figure that out when I read it. Like I said, I don't read the back of books. I just read off of authors, or I'll read the synopsis once and I'll never read it again. And I'll be like, oh, I wanted to read that at some point. Let's read it still. So yeah, I'm a mood reader, and I pick books randomly and for no reason. And that's how I find some of the best books. So I would recommend doing that. Just read what you want to read. And if you don't like it, put it down. And if you love it, tell people you love it. Because, like, my favorite series by Hazel Jacks, nobody's ever talked about before, and it changed my life. So I told you would hear about this in every single video, because I'm dedicating my life to making that series a big deal. Everyone needs to read that series. It is amazing, and everyone needs to read Hazel Jacks. She is the most talented author I've ever read, and I love her. If you're watching this, I love you, Hazel. Okay, next is another memoir. I've already said it. I'm reading memoirs this year, and that is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I have heard about this story. It is a story of essay and worse things, and it is horrific. I remember reading the news story when it first came out of a guy who, you know, did this to Chanel. She went through a lot, and it was witnessed, and basically he was a rich guy in a fraternity, and he got away with everything, and she was known as Emily Doe for a long time, and this is a novel, or not a novel, a memoir of her reclaiming her name and her life back from her attacker, and just, becoming stronger from it, and I really, really admire that about her, and I haven't even read the book yet. That shows serious strength, and I just really am excited to dive in and learn her story so that I can know her name, because I didn't know who she was before I found out she wrote this book. And this book is relatively old, so like I should know at this point. So I'm excited to read it, and I'm excited to talk to y'all about it. I know it's going to be really heavy and hard to read, but I think that's important. I think that's important to read other people's stories because they had to live them. I can read them if they had to live them. That's just my opinion. Okay, well, a little bit on a happier note, I have never read Emily Henry. Okay, I've never read Emily Henry. I'm so sorry. I have her books, just have never read them. I've heard that I would like them. I just have never been inclined to pick one up. But 2025 is going to be the year, and I'm going to be starting with Happy Place. I've heard the most good things about Happy Place and Beach Read, but from the synopses, I think I'm going to like Happy Place more. So I'm going to start with this one. It seems like it's going to be like kind of convenience, maybe one bed, second chance, which second chance is my favorite trope in romance, hands down. If y'all have any second chance romance recommendations, please let me know, please, because I've read like all of them and I need to read more. They heal my heart. So please give me your recommendations for second chance. This one just sounds right up my alley, and I think that I'm going to really enjoy it. And I think it'll be good to put in between these heavier books that I'm reading, like Know My Name and Mad Wife and The Push, things that kind of leave you sad after. This will be a good palate cleanser. It'll lift my spirits a little bit. So I'm excited to, jump on the Emily Henry train and let y'all know what I think because I'm late. I'm late to the party. I've been reading for years and I'm so late to the party. Shocker. Okay. This is an author that I've heard no one talk about. She is a romance and a thriller author. I have never read her romances, so I can't speak to her romances, but she was meant to write thrillers, period. This lady has talent. She is gifted in writing thrillers, especially domestic thrillers, but if you watched my previous video, I am a political science communication major. If you didn't watch that video and you didn't hear me say that, I'm a political science and communications major. I really enjoy politics. Sorry. It's not a highly talked about topic, but I really enjoy it. And this book is The Bitter Truth by Shanora Williams. It is a political domestic thriller, and do I have to say more? Do I have to say more? I've read all of her other thriller books except The Other Mistress. So this one is her newest one, and I just found out she's coming out with another one this year. Girl, I have to read it immediately. So I'm really excited for that one to be released, but I gotta read this one first, and it just sounds perfect for me. Domestic thrillers are my favorite, trope of thriller. I don't know if that's considered a trope of thriller, but the focus of a thriller. I love domestic thrillers, and this girl, girl, you're so good at your job. Oh my god. Please go read Shanora Williams and read her thrillers because if you love her romances, you need to read her thrillers. She's insane. Yeah. The Perfect Ruin by her. I did it again. The Perfect Ruin and The Wife Before. Top tier. 4.5 stars. Just really fast paced, really twisty, really dramatic characters, and I love that. I love that. So that's the next one on my list. I'm really excited for that one. Um, the next one, I'm probably going to read this one next. I'm reading It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan because I got sent the ARC for that. I'm reading that right now. And I normally don't read two romances in a row because I feel like they're kind of rinse and repeat for me most of the time. So I don't tend to read romances back to back. So I'll probably read A Stolen Life by J.C. Dugard next. If you don't know who J.C. Dugard is, she was basically abducted on her way to her school bus stop, on her way to school, and she was held captive for 18 years in the backyard of a couple. And she was forced to have his children and just went through unimaginable things, like truly, truly unimaginable things. And I heard about her story a lot growing up, but now that I'm an adult, I really want to read this book from her. I want to know her perspective. I flipped through this book and I can just tell already I'm going to be so moved, so heartbroken, and so inspired by her. Her journal entries are in here from her time in captivity, and just it really, she ends up escaping after 18 years, and she is just such an inspiration. She is so strong. Like, I look up to her in so many ways. She is a beast. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for this book. It's gonna hurt, but I think it's gonna be good to read, and I think I'll really enjoy it because I just got done with While Idaho Slept, and that follows the tragedy of the Idaho Four. If you don't know that story, you should definitely go look into it. But I read that book and tore me apart. It's gonna be in my January wrap up, so stay tuned for that. But it was a really good book. It was just very sad, and I was heartbroken. I did cry, but it'll be okay. And that one's gonna make me cry for sure. Um, okay, on to happier things than that. Even though we need to talk about those things, and I'm very excited to read that book. The next one I'm reading is from probably my second or third favorite thriller author of all time. That is Megan Golden. This is the second book in the Rachel Crowell series. I don't know if there's gonna be any books after this. She hasn't released that she's writing any more books this year, next year, or anytime in the future, which is heartbreaking. But basically, her first book, The Night Swim, was one of my favorite books last year. I gave it 5 stars. It follows a crime podcaster, and she goes and she like actually stays in the town that she researches. She follows these stories and she tries to bring justice to the true and the real side of whatever it's about, whatever the trial is following. And then the last one, it was like two different timelines that intertwined in the trial, and it took you in the present and the past and her podcast. And if there's a podcast involved in a thriller, you can just sign me up. Like, I don't need to know what it's about. I don't need to know the synopsis. That's all I need to know. I think that's so interesting. I love multimedia thrillers. I love like the podcast element. I love reading podcast format thrillers. Like None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. You've heard me talk about that one. I I eat it up. I think it's awesome. It's so fun to read. And Rachel Crawl is an amazing character. Megan did such a good job with Rachel. She is she's just I just love her writing. It's so easy to read. It's so captivating. I'm on the edge of my seat and everything, and I just know I'm gonna love this. I don't know what it's about. I just know I'm gonna love it because I love The Night Swim. So read The Night Swim and then read this one and tell me what you think because I love Megan Golden. Love her. Okay. Another one that I'm super late to the party on, Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I'm going to be reading that one this year. After I finished the Saltaire series by Hazel Jacks, or what's been written of it so far, this was what first got recommended to me after as being the most similar. This is what I've heard as a second chance romance of like old friends, I believe. And I've heard it's gut wrenching, heartbreaking. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I'm trying to say. And I think it's going to be right up my alley. If I loved Saltaire that much, I'm going to love this one. I've been putting it off because I know it's going to be like one of my favorite romances ever. And I don't want to I don't want to read it and it to be over if it's one of my favorite romances. And that's, yeah, I hope that's relatable. I really do. But I push off books because I know they're going to be good and I don't want them to be over. But I'm super excited for this one. I'm super excited to annotate it. I read my first Christina Lauren over Christmas time. I read In a Holidays, and so cute. So cute. Such a good holiday romance. Like, it wasn't a 5-star, it was a 4-star, but like I'm gonna read it this Christmas. Like it was so fun. I loved it and I thought it was so sweet, so cute. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So now I've bought all of the Christina Lauren books and I have them all in the UK covers except Love and Other Words. And I'm going to get through them because I loved In a Holidays and I love second chance romance. So I think that's gonna be perfect for me. Next on my 25 and 25 is Talking at Night by Claire Daverly. This one I haven't heard a lot about. I found it, I believe, going through Goodreads giveaways one day, and it just sounds like another second chance romance, like a lit fic with romance subplots, with romance as a subplot, and that's something that I look for in romance books. I tend to enjoy them more. One of my favorite books is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, and that one is very lit thick with an undertone and a subplot of romance, and I love that story. It just tore my heart out and put it all back together for me, and that's what I want this to do, and that's what I think this book will do for me. So I might do a reading vlog for this one, and then the next one I'm going to talk about together because I think they're going to be similar and just really heal my heart. And sometimes that's what I need. Sometimes that's what I need. So that one, and then Given Our History by Kristen J. Miller. This is another one that just sounds very just pure and like very wholesome and just a good, sweet romance. It's about an assistant professor and I believe another scholar or teacher, and they fall in love, I'm assuming, based on the cover. But I believe they were acquaintances long ago, and then they kind of forget about each other, or they have some kind of conflict, and they end up just separating and not really speaking to each other again. And then they both become teachers, and they kind of get brought back together. And just the cover, like, it just looks so cute. It looks so adorable. Like, I just love it. I love it. And I love this cover as well of them like leaning on each other's shoulders. Please, please. So yeah, those I'm really excited about. This next one, I didn't know I was going to get the ARC for It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. So I was anticipating that this next one was going to be my first read from her. But now it's actually going to be It's a Love Story because I'm currently reading that one because I need to get a review posted on it. But Summer Romance. I had added this one to my 25 and 2025 before I got the ARC sent to me. And I'm still very excited about this. What made me jump on the Annabelle Monaghan train or Monaghan train, I don't know how to say it. I'm so, so sorry. Everyone says it differently. I'm sorry. But what made me jump on this train was that she is a lit fic author that has subplots of romance, so count me in. And she writes very short, very, what I've heard, easy to read books. And I think it'll be similar to Hazel Jacks, and anything that's similar to Hazel Jacks, I will read. So if y'all read Saltaire or have read Saltaire by Hazel Jacks and you know what I'm talking about, please let me know some recommendations that are like her. I'm begging. I'm begging because I'm out of books by her. She's not writing anymore right now. I'm very sad about it. So just please, please give me some second chance lit fic with subplot romance recommendations. I'll love you forever. Okay, let me spin my cart. Okay, I have 3 more physical books on it, and then I have a few more that I'll have to tell you just that I don't have in my cart right now. The next one I have is Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. I've been dying to read this, but I did not like the hardcover of it, and so I waited for the UK to release their paperback. hello, it's gorgeous, pink and white. Nothing can be wrong with that, you know? This is basically a there's someone in the house thriller. I mean, now that I'm actually reading the cover, it says that on the cover. There was someone in the house. Yeah, I'm great at this. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've heard it. I don't want to read the back. I'm not going to read the back. I don't want to know the details of it until I read it. But there's somebody in the house, and I've heard that it's like really, really creepy and crazy. And count me in. I'm all about the thrills and the chills, you know? I want to be creeped out. So if you have any like creepy, creepy thriller books, let me know because I did not watch, I read Tender is the Flesh this year and I gave it a 2 star, not because it wasn't creepy, just that it was just like, ugh, you know, like it was just not what I was expecting. I knew it was about like human consumption, but it just was, I don't know if it was for me, but I'm excited about her new book coming out this year, The Unworthy, I believe is what it's called. Like a religious thriller. I love like cult thrillers and stuff like that, especially that are grounded on religion. I find those super fascinating. So she's going to be releasing The Unworthy, and I'm really excited about that one. But yeah, if you have anything like that's like Tender is the Flesh or that's like Night Watching, those really creepy, weird thrillers, let me know. I want to read them. I want to read them. And if you like those thrillers, I would recommend reading The Last Session by Julia Bartz. It's coming out this year. She also wrote the writing retreat last year, and I got the ARC for that, and I got the ARC for The Last Session this year, and that girl can do no wrong. That girl can do no wrong. She writes the eeriest, creepiest, weirdest, like mind bending thrillers, and I eat it up every time. Every time. So if you have any weird ones that you're like, no one would like that, it's so weird, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna like it and I will read it. And that goes into my next book, the second to last physical book I have on my 25 and 25, and that is Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. Um, I asked for this one for Christmas, and my husband got it for me, and it's basically a mother-in-law that passes away and chooses to haunt her daughter-in-law and her son in her afterlife. And if you have a mother-in-law that you don't, get along with, or maybe you don't have the best relationship with, I don't see why you shouldn't read this book. Like that just sounds like so much fun. It's the cover. I mean, I have not seen a cover I love more than this book in my entire life. And I'm going to be putting this in an easel on my bookshelf so everyone can admire the cover. I know it's been out for a while. I need to read it now. And I'm just really excited because I think it's going to be a weird thriller. And like I just said, I love those. So I'm excited for this one. It's actually considered horror, which I found out after I got it. I went to Barnes the other day and they had it in their horror section. So I guess it's gonna be horror. I haven't heard that it's that scary, more just like very weird and like unique. Just a very unique story. Okay. The only other one I have on my physical cart is the one that I've already read that was marked off in my spread, and that's The Defense by or the Defense, I guess is the correct way to say that. It's from Steve Kavanaugh. I read Kill for Me, Kill for You last year, and it was a 5 star read for me. His writing is so good. It's so twisty. His characters are so amazing. This one was another 5 star. I have the whole series now except the brand new one that just came out, Witness 8. And my plan is to read the whole series this year. I think it's a 9-part series, 8-part series. And this was the first book, and it's about a guy who he's been a lot of things. He used to be in the law, he used to be a hustler, he used to be a con artist and a scammer, and he was once a really good attorney. And the Russian mob tracks this man down to defend the head of the Russian mob for something he did. And if he doesn't get him off scot-free, it's crazy. It's legitimately crazy. I told my husband he has to read the entire series, and I won't talk about it with him because I can't ruin it for him. I cannot ruin it for him. And yeah, I have nothing bad to say. My review posted on Goodreads and Fable says just that. There is nothing wrong with this book. Nothing. So if you like a good legal thriller and you like a organized crime thriller, the characters in this, the head of the Russian mob and his sidekick, his name's Arturus, they're good. He wrote them so well. They're so crazy. And I love it. And I love Eddie Flynn. That is called the Eddie Flynn series, and he's the main guy in all of them. He is the lawyer that's fighting to get the Russian mob off, basically. So super duper interesting. I'm really excited for the whole series. I don't know what the other books follow because I'm not going to read them because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But 100% would recommend that whole series. Okay, now I'm going to get into the ones I don't have or that are still yet to be released. I'll just be putting the pictures up here beside me, and I'll give you the release date if they're going to be released in the next few months or later on in the year. I don't have them all right in front of me, but I will add them for you. The first one I wanted to talk about was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. If you watched my favorite books in 2024 video, you know Ali Hazelwood can do no wrong in my eyes. She wrote one of my favorite books of last year, Not in Love. I've read everything from her except Chess and Mate, and I loved them all except Love Theoretically. That one I didn't really like a whole lot. I just didn't like the relationship between the two main characters. I felt no connection between them or chemistry or anything, but I'm excited for Deep End. It's a swimmer romance, which I think is super unique. I've never seen a swimmer romance, and the cover, oh my god, the cover, that's all I have to say. And it's coming out with sprayed edges, and it's the water, you've probably seen it if you're watching this video. So yeah, I'm really excited for that one. I believe that's coming out in February at some point. Another one is Beautiful Ugly. I actually think this one comes out tomorrow, which this is being filmed on the 13th of January. So tomorrow's the 14th of January. So I think that's coming out tomorrow. I'll probably go get it tomorrow. It's from Alice Feeney. It's her new book. I don't know anything about it. I just love Alice Feeney, and I will read anything she writes. And I love the cover of this one, and it was one of the first ones that I saw was coming out in 2025 last year when I was looking for new releases. And sign me up. Sign me up. I'll read any Alice Feeney. I still need to read Daisy Darker and Rock, Paper, Scissors, but I've read His and Hers and Good Bad Girl. And His and Hers was so good. Good Bad Girl wasn't as good, but I have a feeling Beautiful Ugly is going to be her best book yet. So I'll be reviewing that one soon. Another one that I'm really excited for that is an author I should have read already is Hannah Bonham Young. I have Next to You and Next of Kin, but I want to start out with Out on a Limb because I've heard that one is upper echelon of romance right now, and she is so gifted at writing. So I'm going to start out with that one. I just need to get a copy of it first. And that one I'm probably going to read closer to the summertime. I tend to read romances more in the summertime. So I'll see whenever I read that, but I'm really excited for that one. I've heard it's really, really cute, and I think it's going to be something that I really enjoy. I've heard there's nothing much to not like about it. So that works for me. And then another author I adore is John Mars. I found him through a UK TikToker. I'm going to talk about her a lot. Her name is Michaela, I believe. And I found him through her, and I've read a couple of his books. And he has a new one coming out called You Killed Me First. And I'm just so excited. And that's probably going to be when I buddy read with Micah, my husband, because he also likes John Mars. He just finished The Minders by him, which is one of his sci-fi books. John Mars writes sci-fi dystopian, and like thrillers. So he writes a few genres, but he's such a good writer. They're so twisty, they're so complex, they're so well written, and his characters are amazing. Um, okay, y'all, y'all are gonna learn this about me, but I love Frida, Frida McFadden. She, yes, her not the best writing, okay, but I'm not a literature major, okay. I can't write a book, so that's not my business to comment on that. However, she gets me every time with her twist. Every time I fall for it, every time I think I figured it out and I haven't. So until till I can figure it out, I'm gonna keep reading because now I just have beef because I need to predict one of her books. So I'm gonna try and do that with her new book, The Crash. That's on my 25 and 25. I'll put that up here. I believe it's coming out January 28th, I want to say. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it up there. But yeah, it's her third book in the coworker, the boyfriend, the crash thing she's doing. And I'm really excited. I ate up the coworker. I ate up the boyfriend. I like the coworker better than the boyfriend. The over exaggeration on turtles in the coworker, that just seemed like something I would enjoy, and it was. I saw no point in it being in the book, but I loved it. So that's all I have to say on that one. The other ones I have two more. Not in My Book by Katie Holt. That one looks adorable. The cover is adorable. I believe it's already out. I think it came out in December of 2024. And I had it ordered and it got canceled. So I don't have the book yet. So I'll be ordering that. I want to read it probably in February. It just seems very like the cover's pink. It seems very Valentine-y, and so I wanna read that one in February. So I'll be getting a review out to y'all on that one. It just seems adorable. It's between two people that are involved in literature and books about readers. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and romance between readers. Oh yeah, So yeah. Okay. Last but not least, I do believe if I've missed one, I am so sorry, and I will put it in. But the last one I have is Only If You're Lucky by Stacey Willingham. It is a thriller. Stacey Willingham, I've read both of her other books, A Flicker in the Dark and All of the Dangerous Things. And I loved A Flicker in the Dark. I believe I gave it a 4.5 or 5 stars. All the Dangerous Things I didn't love as much as A Flicker in the Dark, but I still like her writing a lot. And this one has been out for a while in hardcover, but I want it in the paperback to match my other copies. So I'm waiting for it to come out in paperback. It's going to be out at the middle to end of this year. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read it. I also don't think she's coming out with anything new that I've seen. So a lot of my favorite authors, I'm not getting new books released this year of. So if you have any authors that are like you're diehard for, like I am for Hazel Jacks, Harlan Coben, Megan Golden, Stacey Willingham, Steve Kavanaugh, let me know. Let me know. I'm looking for more favorite authors. So just let me know. I also love Elle Kennedy. I've read her entire like the Deal series, like Off Campus, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Off Campus. Allie Hazelwood. I love like strong women leads political books. I'm really excited to read The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead this year. But yeah, anything like that, those are my vibe. Weird thrillers, creepy kid thrillers, domestic thrillers, um, just any authors that you are diehard for and you recommend to everyone. The only genre I really don't read is fantasy, so sign me up. Let me know. I'm so glad you joined me today. Thank you for listening to me just talk your ear off about the books I'm excited to read this year. If you are reading any of these this year and they're high on your priority list, let me know. I want to talk about it. Give me a follow on Goodreads, Fable, and Lemonade. I'm going to link those on my bio. Chat to me over there. All my reviews are posted over there in real time. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.